Hi, Scott.
Hello.
Welcome to the latest episode of Pedalpocalypse. And where are you right now?
So I'm somewhere near Guildford in a studio, Masterlink Studios.
We've got to give a shout out to Masterlink because you did a session with them, and so we kind of jumped on that. And so I think we're going to play some stuff from that session. And that was
Great.
stuff from your new record, is that right?
Yeah, mostly from the new record.
And how did the new record come about? Was that something you recorded during lockdown, or was it something that you'd planned before?
Planned it before, but lockdown was great because parts of it were great because it just gave us time to finish it. Once the initial shock of everything that had happened last year with lockdown and COVID and stuff, it was kind of like great that we had all this stuff recorded that we could just work on.
So this show is all about lockdown, really, and that's kind of how it came about. The concept is, if you were only allowed to take 3 pedals with you into a situation like being locked down, what would those 3 pedals be?
Yeah.
So let's go to pedal number 1. What have you chosen?
Okay, so this is my Fuzz pedal, the SM Fuzz, and it's based on like an old germanium kind of thing. So the Fuzz for me is one of the main go-to pedals I use because it's quite different. Although it's a fuzz pedal, you can also use it as a clean boost. It doesn't have to just be fuzzy, and it's much more retro than something like a tube screamer or a transistor overdrive. So it never sounds neat and tidy in that way. It always sounds a bit crunchy or a bit more like an amp cranked or something. Yeah. Cool. So if you if you roll the volume back a little bit, it goes from full up. If you just back it off a bit, you get a kind of. It just adds like a top end to your existing sound. So without the fuzz, full up, and then with the fuzz but like backed off, you get this kind of like. It's more like a sort of almost martially kind of breakup. You can still play chords and stuff under it.
So how did the pedal come about? You say it's your own pedal. How did you develop that?
Yeah, so I made one when I was like 17, 18, just from a schematic that I saw online. And that was on my board, and I'm not great at making stuff, so it kind of like quite often wouldn't work. But it looked really cool and it sounded cool. And then I met a friend of mine and we kind of went into this business together, and we were like, well, we'll make 50. See if we sell any, and then we made 100, then we made like 200, and then I think we made about 500 or 600 in the original series, which was great. And then I just got busy with gigging and life and touring, and the fuzz pedal kind of went into the background for a while. And then like last year, we me and Luke, my friend who I do it with, we'd see them pop up on eBay and Reverb for like $600 or like $700, and we were sort of thinking we should get on that.
Yeah, get a piece of that. So
Yeah.
how can people? Are they available now, or do you like release small batches of them, or how can people get?
Yeah,
them?
so we started making them again last year. Just small batches. So they're available from smfuzz.com, and we've got a new octave fuzz coming out, which is an octave and a silicon fuzz in one pedal.
So let's move to pedal number 2.
Okay, so this is a Roger Mayer Octavia. It plays the high octave of the note, but it kind of doesn't track very well. So it almost sounds a little bit like a kind of ring modulator type of thing, but it's really percussive. And, you know, for example, if you just turn the tone down on the guitar, if you're on the neck pickup on a Strat, you get this kind of like, I don't know, it just sort of can sound quite synthy for one, but then it can also be like really funky, so it's kind of, I like using it in a few different ways. You know, it's like a real percussive thing, like the note kind of dies. It's got like a weird, almost like, can sound a bit keyboardy or like Rhodesy or something. But you can, yeah, so I tend to set it quite clean, so the gain's kind of pretty much off, but the volume's full, and you get that real percussive, I mean, Hendrixy kind of thing.
But
you know.
The interesting thing that what I'm hearing with the pedals is that they do have a short lifespan of the note, and it's almost like playing clean in a way, where you're really relying on executing each note really well. It's like your sound doesn't allow for fluffing. You know, you have to execute everything, and I think that really comes through in all those tones, if you know what I mean.
Even just where you play on the guitar, you know, if you play by the bridge, it's very staccato-y and percussive. You know, almost like on-off kind of thing. I mean, I quite often think of like a Stevie Wonder-y sort of sound, you know that? Yeah, it's got that kind of clavinet sort of thing. And then using that in conjunction with the fuzz as well. So you can go from like a real, quite a sweet, clean sound to like with two pedals. And again, just adjusting where you have things on the guitar, you know, you can get some, you know, some kind of crazy sounds.
Cool. Well, what's number 3 on the Pedalpocalypse list?
It's like Blind Date or something.
Right.
Number 3 is my trusty Vox Wah, which I've had a couple of years. This is a 70s one, I think early 70s. Which I've kind of like modded a little bit, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just love the wah pedal for, again, I mean, these are all very Hendrixy sort of sounds, you know, probably apart from the Univibe, the 3 pedals that Hendrix would always use. But I just love it because it can be, it's just funky, isn't it? You know, you kind of combining that with something like the Octavia as well. I just love those. That for me is like, it's just like I kind of always go to that kind of area.
you have them in sequence that you? So you're into your Fuzz first, and then the Octavia, and then the wah. Is that how you run them?
That's right. Yeah. That's just what I find works best. I like the sound of the Octavia and the Fuzz going into the wah. I don't know if that's the right way of doing it or not. But I see some people always have the wah pedal first, but it just doesn't seem to work for me. So I like the sound of the guitar hitting the Octavia, for example, and you get all that kind of all that kind of good Octavia-y sort of stuff, Octavia-y stuff.
It's kind of like they're cool, funky sounds. Like each of them kind of like up the ante on that cool funkiness.
With all three pedals on, you can just get some. It's just instantly kind of crazy. You know, you can go from kind of like nice, like really sweet sort of clean sound into like just craziness with just a couple of pedals and a wah.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you to the Masterlink guys who helped set this all up. And you're in the UK, I'm in the States, and we're kind of, I guess, via satellite somehow connecting. And also your Masterlink session is up now, and they can see that. I'll put the URL on the screen down here. And they can go check that out. And that's you playing with a room full of amazing musicians. Yeah, go check that out. Thanks, Scott. Awesome. And,
thanks, man. Thanks, Rob.
See you soon.